The world of sports, particularly boxing, thrives on drama, spectacle, and larger-than-life personalities, but few figures have embodied this as vividly as Floyd Mayweather Jr. Known for his undefeated 50-0 record, Mayweather has long been a polarizing figure, a symbol of both unparalleled success and ostentatious excess. His nickname, Money, reflects not just his in-ring dominance but also his carefully crafted persona as a man who lives for wealth, flaunts it shamelessly, and seemingly defies the financial pitfalls that have ensnared so many athletes before him. Yet, recent developments have cast a shadow over this glittering image, with reports of a $42 million real estate scam, allegations of bankruptcy, and a fiery outburst from Piers Morgan, who has publicly lambasted Mayweather's financial decisions and post-retirement antics. This confluence of events has sparked heated debates across social media, television, and financial circles, raising questions about how one of the wealthiest athletes in history could find himself in such a precarious position, and whether his legacy is being tarnished by his own choices. Mayweather's career is the stuff of legend. With earnings exceeding $1.5 billion, he transformed boxing into a global spectacle, headlining mega-fights against the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Conor McGregor, and Canelo Alvarez, which generated billions in revenue. His 2015 bout with Pacquiao, dubbed the Fight of the Century, reportedly earned him $300 million alone, while his 2017 crossover fight with McGregor added another $275 million to his coffers. Beyond the ring, Mayweather cultivated a brand synonymous with extravagance. Private jets, million-dollar watches, and stacks of cash displayed on social media for all to see. His persona was not just that of a champion, but of a man who had mastered the art of monetizing fame. He famously bought himself out of his contract with Top Rank Boxing in 2006 for $750,000, a bold move that allowed him to promote his own fights and reap the rewards of every ticket, pay-per-view, and concession sold. The gamble paid off spectacularly. His 2007 fight against Oscar de la Hoya earned him $25 million, and the rest is history. But the narrative of Mayweather's invincibility has begun to crack. Reports surfaced in October 2024 that Mayweather had entered into a $42 million deal to purchase a portfolio of affordable housing in New York City, comprising over 60 buildings and 1,000 units in Upper Manhattan. The deal, brokered with Josh Gottlieb of Black Spruce Management, was hailed as one of the largest multifamily transactions in the city that year. Mayweather framed the purchase as deeply personal, recalling his own childhood in a cramped one-bedroom apartment shared with 7 family members. The move was seen as a savvy expansion of his real estate empire, which already included investments in 9 New York City skyscrapers. For a moment, it seemed like Mayweather was proving his doubters wrong, transitioning from flashy showman to shrewd businessman. However, skepticism soon emerged. Business Insider conducted an investigation and found no public records, deed transfers, or other evidence to substantiate the deal. Phone calls to property owners yielded no confirmation, and the narrative began to shift. Was Mayweather swindled in a sophisticated scam, or was the announcement itself a fabrication? Social media erupted with speculation, fueled by none other than rapper 50 Cent, a longtime antagonist of Mayweather. In a characteristic troll, 50 Cent posted a clip of Mayweather discussing the deal, captioning it with a jab, "He bought them in his imagination, same place he read all those Harry Potter books." The comment was a nod to 50 Cent's ongoing claims that Mayweather's wealth is not as robust as it appears, a sentiment he first voiced in a 2020 interview when he suggested that Mayweather's lavish lifestyle had depleted his fortune. "He's not as rich as we think," 50 Cent said, pointing to the stacks of cash Mayweather flaunts as light money rather than evidence of enduring wealth. The allegations of a scam gained traction with reports that Mayweather had invested hundreds of millions into ventures overseen by unvetted financial advisors, some of whom are now facing criminal charges. Court documents and investigative reports suggest that these investments were made without proper due diligence, a mistake that financial experts describe as catastrophic for even the wealthiest individuals. The $42 million real estate deal, if indeed fraudulent, would represent a significant blow to Mayweather's fortune, raising questions about how someone with his resources could fall victim to such a scheme. Financial analysts have long warned that athletes, even those with 9-figure earnings, are vulnerable to financial ruin due to excessive spending, poor investments, and a lack of sustainable income streams. Mayweather's penchant for extravagance, private jets, rare watches, and a sneaker collection worth millions, has only amplified these concerns. Amid this financial controversy, Piers Morgan entered the fray, delivering a scathing critique of Mayweather's lifestyle and post-retirement activities. Morgan, known for his outspoken commentary, has been particularly critical of Mayweather's participation in exhibition fights, which have become a staple of his post-retirement career. These bouts, often against non-professional fighters like social media personalities or celebrities, are designed for entertainment and quick payouts rather than competitive integrity. For example, Mayweather earned $20 million for a 6-minute exhibition against Japanese MMA fighter Mikuru Asakura, and his recent fight against John Gotti III, grandson of the infamous mobster, saw him dominate an opponent with little boxing pedigree. While these events are undeniably lucrative, they have drawn ire from boxing purists who argue that they cheapen Mayweather's legacy. Morgan's rant was not just about the exhibitions but about Mayweather's broader financial mismanagement. He pointed to the alleged $42 million scam as evidence of reckless spending and poor decision-making, accusing Mayweather of squandering his fortune on frivolous purchases and ill-advised ventures. "You can't spend like that," Morgan reportedly fumed, echoing a sentiment shared by many who have watched Mayweather's ostentatious displays with a mix of awe and apprehension. The criticism was amplified by other prominent figures in the boxing world, including sports commentator Stephen A. Smith and former rival Oscar de la Hoya. Smith argued that Mayweather's legacy is being tarnished by facing opponents who haven't earned the right to share the ring with him, comparing it to LeBron James playing against random amateurs on a basketball court. De la Hoya, meanwhile, called Mayweather's exhibition against Gotti embarrassing, urging him to prioritize his legacy over short-term financial gains. The Gotti fight, in particular, underscored the absurdity of Mayweather's exhibition career. During the bout, Mayweather reportedly had the referee swapped out mid-round after being warned about illegal hits, a move that prompted boos from the crowd and further criticism from observers. De la Hoya took to social media, writing, "Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. You have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions." The incident also highlighted Mayweather's legal troubles, with reports of a Miami jeweler filing a lawsuit against him, suggesting that he may need to sell off assets to cover mounting debts. For a man who once boasted of being the human ATM, these developments paint a starkly different picture. Yet, Mayweather remains defiant. He has consistently defended his exhibition fights, framing them as a form of entertainment and a way to keep his brand relevant. "I'm the pioneer of all this," he said, referencing his 2017 fight with McGregor as the catalyst for the modern exhibition trend. "I started this, and now everybody's doing it." He has also dismissed critics of his spending, insisting that his wealth is intact and that his investments, like the Manhattan real estate deal, are proof of his business acumen. In a recent social media post, Mayweather showcased his sneaker collection, hundreds of rare high-end pairs stacked in a massive walk-in closet, declaring, "I love sneakers. Wear these one time only." The post, which went viral, was a reminder of his unapologetic flamboyance, even as questions swirl about his financial stability. The debate over Mayweather's legacy extends beyond his finances and exhibitions to broader cultural conversations. Piers Morgan, for instance, has used Mayweather as a hypothetical in his critiques of transgender women competing in women's sports. During a televised discussion, Morgan posed a provocative question: if Mayweather were to identify as a woman, should he be allowed to fight female opponents? The query was meant to highlight what Morgan sees as the absurdity of allowing biological males to compete in women's sports, citing Mayweather's pound-for-pound dominance as evidence of the physical advantages that hormone therapy cannot fully mitigate. Transgender rights activist Joanna Harper responded that such participation would be acceptable if Mayweather met weight category criteria, a stance Morgan dismissed as utterly ridiculous due to safety concerns. The exchange underscored how Mayweather's name has become a cultural touchstone, invoked in debates far removed from boxing. So, where does this leave Floyd Mayweather? On one hand, he remains a towering figure in sports history, a man who redefined what it means to be a boxing champion. His 50-0 record, billion-dollar earnings, and ability to command global attention are undeniable. His real estate ventures, if legitimate, suggest a desire to build a lasting legacy beyond the ring. On the other hand, the allegations of financial mismanagement, the criticism of his exhibition fights, and the specter of bankruptcy threaten to overshadow his achievements. Critics like Morgan, Smith, and De La Hoya argue that Mayweather is risking his reputation by prioritizing short-term gains over long-term respect. The $42 million real estate scandal, whether a scam or a fabrication, serves as a cautionary tale about the fragility of wealth, even for someone as successful as Mayweather. For fans, the question is whether Mayweather should continue these exhibitions or retire gracefully, preserving the aura of invincibility that defined his career. Supporters argue that he has earned the right to do as he pleases, entertaining audiences and padding his bank account in the process. Detractors, however, see each exhibition as a step away from the dignity of his prime years, a dilution of the money brand he worked so hard to build. The truth likely lies in a gray area. Mayweather's exhibitions are both a savvy business move and a gamble with his legacy, just as his real estate ventures are both a bold investment and a potential misstep. As the saga unfolds, Mayweather's story serves as a reminder of the complexities of fame, wealth, and legacy. He is a man who bet on himself and won, time and again, but even the greatest champions are not immune to the pitfalls of hubris, mismanagement, or the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. Whether he emerges from this chapter as a cautionary tale or a triumphant entrepreneur remains to be seen. For now, the world watches, debates, and wonders. Is Floyd Mayweather still money, or has the cost of his lifestyle finally caught up with him?